Hey guys, it is still August 28th. This is going to be part 3 of, I may have 4 parts, but they're different segments for August 28th. The second segment, my camera shut off, and I was on a roll. I guess I just wanted to discuss a few things while I'm getting some more vehicular stalking on tape, because I'm going to make kind of today's videos about vehicular stalking and just kind of talk about my situation and the whole targeting situation while I do that. These people are really disgusting because, when they'll be torturing me and I'll have images of Jesus Christ in my head. Those are my images that, I try and, use to comfort me, and I pray. And I'll recite the Our Father, and they'll start reciting it with me. They'll V2K, they'll repeat the Our Father with me. So it doesn't seem to scare them off. If I just keep doing it, I'll hear them go, "Oh God, he's gonna keep doing it," and then they'll stop, repeating it. But oftentimes I'll think of, because the way they make it feel around my head, they hit my head, the top of my head, the sides of my head, and so I'll think of that part in the Passion of the Christ, where they put the crown of thorns on Jesus' head and they hit him with a stick, because that's what it feels like. It hurts that bad. And so right now I have this feeling, and they always do this to me, and I'm not quite sure, but it does. It's like all around the top of my head, the crown of my head. It's burning, and it's burned all the way around on the sides and the top of my head. I kind of wonder, if they're using their sacrilegious nature, and then the torture to make fun of my faith. To put electromagnetic energy around the tops of my head to give me my own crown of thorns. Not that I think I'm Jesus or anything. What I found that they do on V2, the remote neural monitoring with the V2K, this is what they do a lot. Like, I'll give you an example. Like yesterday I was watching Outbreak, because of what's going on here with this and how it's just spreading and it seems to be growing, the insanity. I saw Outbreak and I love that movie. I watched it probably a couple years back. I love Dustin Hoffman. And so I was watching the movie, and just I have Dustin Hoffman in my head, kind of, and on the V2K I hear, look, because the dialogue is they're trying to convince this nice woman that I've gone crazy as they hurt me and torture me. They're like, look, he thinks he's Dustin Hoffman. They do that a lot. Like if I'm reading a comic book with Spider-Man in it or something, I'll have Spider-Man in my head. I'll have Spider-Man in my head while I drive around or whatever. Or, sometimes I'll watch something about Jesus. I'll have Jesus in my head. And there are no phrases that go along with these things that I have in my head, from me. But then the V2K will, say like, oh, he thinks he's Jesus. Oh, he thinks he's Spider-Man. Oh, he thinks he's Deadpool, or something like that. If I watch any kind of media or read a comic book with any of those people, and it's a big thing. These people have no idea what they're looking at with these visualizations in our visual cortexes. I just, since I was 10, I've read comic books, I watch movies, and I think of the characters in a certain way. I'll either identify with them or stuff like that. Just regular people do. But a big thing they do is they'll start going, he thinks he's that. Like I'll start thinking of Jesus, and they'll be like, he thinks he's Jesus. And so what I'll start doing, I'll go, yeah, I think I'm that. I think I'm that computer. I think I'm the floor. And I just start looking at everything, going, yeah, I think I'm that. I think I'm this. And I just make fun of what they're doing, because they have no idea, how I really think. Even 4 years of just this group doing this to me and heavily remote neural monitoring me, actually affecting my visual cortex, audio cortex, very, very, in a very, very bad way, damaging those cortexes, because of the way they played around with them with microwaves. But they still have no idea who I am. my phone's getting super hot, so this video may go out. I'm just gonna keep making the video until it goes out. That's what we'll do on this one. But it's a very silly thing, because they're trying to false flag even your brain, even your visual cortex and your audio cortex. They're trying to make sounds around you with the V2K, make thumping sounds, so you think that, you know, your neighbors are doing it. That's why it's so confusing to know if it's your neighbors doing it or not. But you know, it's like, even after 4 years of just these people doing it, it's been happening to me for 7 years that I know of. And it could have been happening to me before, and I just didn't know it, because I've had a lot of really weird health issues that have gone along with the Crohn's disease that really the doctors were kind of perplexed at why it was happening. Crohn's disease shouldn't have caused any of it. But so it's just weird that even after 4 years of this team remote neural monitoring, and that's the thing is, it's not good for them to know you, because if you're a good human being and you want to do good for the world and you love your family, I mean, they can't say, hey, yeah, this guy is good and he loves his family. You know, that doesn't help them to get a bunch of people around them saying, yeah, let's kill him. You know, we can kill him and hurt him and do whatever and just use this technology. So they've got to lie about everything that you are, everything that they see in the visual cortex. There's no learning about this. You know, with mine, I know it's definitely not an experimentation. It's experimentation on how badly they can torture somebody, how badly they can, you know, bring their family into it. My phone's getting super hot, so it might go out. There's a one light SUV coming right there. It's Sunday, by the way, August 28th. Another thing that I'd like to mention, you know, I have somebody above me. They're pouring stuff in my pipes above me, and I saw the guy come in yesterday. He's a Greek. It's just a Greek older guy. You know, so I know he's pouring stuff in the pipes, and like he'll walk around, he'll play stuff, but you know what? I can't even really be sure that he's not placing stuff, and then the people who are remotely hitting me are trying to coordinate it with some of that. The problem with this is the deceit runs, and this is my point on this. You know, I'm really, you know, I think, you know, it feels like there's somebody with weapons upstairs. But the deceit runs so far in this that they can tell people, you know, hey, we're surveilling this guy. He thinks he's being hit with directed energy weapons. So we're surveilling him because that's crazy, because nobody will believe that. So they'll believe the surveillance, and they're like, okay, we'll pour this stuff in your toilet above him, and you know, act like you're placing stuff in your apartment from time to time. And then they work off the directed energy weapon attacks based on that to fool you and to fool the person helping out. Because they did that to one person in my neighborhood. I told this very nice man that I was being hit by something. They ended up getting him into the DHS Fusion Center gang stalking because he didn't believe that the directed energy weapon attacks were going on. But he did believe they were surveilling me because I was dangerous, because I believed that I was being hit with directed energy weapons. So my point in that, and all that, is that this is so much deceit. There's layers and layers of deceit on their side, and you know, they don't even know what they're doing or where they are or what's really going on with what they're doing, what it's being used for. You know, definitely not the people at a street level, the one light cars or anything. There's a change light. I'm going to drive through it. It's so much deceit inside of deceit inside of deceit. Now, the danger to this, this is, you know, if there is a new world order, which I do believe, I believe that, you know, things are coming about where they're putting in all these worldwide programs, like with the UN, and they're on a world scale that they're doing this stuff. I believe that what they're doing is they're trying to make us deceive each other and hurt us so much and do it in these clandestine ways, and everybody's in the shadows doing this or that, making money. These people don't know what these people are doing. You know, these agencies don't know what these, you know, these bigger agencies are doing. And what this does for the average person, it causes a cognitive dissonance. There's too much information out there. There's too much stuff going on, and even for me, it's done this to a point. These people on the V2K, they call me evil, and they call me not a good guy, and all I'm trying to do is save lives and write grants for St. Jude. But what they do, their tactic when they call me evil and not a good guy, is what they want to do is neutralize those terms. They want to be saying them, I'm saying them to them, they're saying them to me, it gets complicated, and then it just neutralizes good and evil in effect. It neutralizes what those words mean. So they throw this in, they throw that in, they throw deceit in it, they say I'm not a good guy. That is a microcosm of what these people are doing on a greater scale. They're throwing in all these secret programs. There's people making money from it. They don't know what anybody else is doing. There's wars everywhere, maybe weather manipulation, chemtrails. There's so much stuff out there, and then people are just trying to survive. They're just trying to go to their jobs. So it causes a cognitive dissonance that when you talk to anybody about any very important issue, especially directed energy weapon experimentation, or just the abuse of this, they're so cognitively dissonant, and this is a form of conditioning, that they don't even, it's an instinct not to hear it, because there's so much craziness going on in the world. I did kind of, my dad wanted to put the bed together that I use in my mom's room, but it would raise the bed up, and I was like, no, I want to keep the bed on the floor for now until Mom gets in here, then I'll set up the bed for her. And he was just like, well, I'm not going to fight that war today. So he totally is just like, when I talk about this, he's just like, I have a crazy son, and that's all just crazy. But he is like, he was almost killed by it, and now I'm not sure. They could be remote neural monitoring him all the time, putting in synthetic telepathy. I have no idea what they're doing to him. But that's what it is. It's like, there's so much stuff, and they pile so much deceit on it, and so many layers of deceit. And there are certain people, like these organizers who are attacking me. They're cold-blooded. They don't really care. Deceit, no deceit. They know where they're at. They don't care about other people's pain. So the cognitive dissonance really doesn't affect them. They're already cognitively dissident. They don't. Nothing means anything to them. They can kill me and my family, experiment on us, they get some money, and they think they're working for this big plan, and really they'd feel nothing on their deathbed, like, why did I waste all my time, torturing that kid? They're already there. They're at a point of cognitive dissonance where words don't mean anything. Meaning doesn't mean anything. And that's what the directed energy web program, gang stalking, it has a lot of levers and things that it's supposed to be doing, and making money for this agency or that agency, transferring kind of the wealth to people who will, do psycho things, and taking it from people who, are critical thinkers. There's many, many layers of this, but that is a layer. They're trying to make things in society so complicated that people are like, I can't listen to all that bullshit. I've got to do construction, or I've got to go and write these grants. I gotta do this. I gotta go to my job and just put food on the table. You're talking about a lot of complicated stuff. So that is definitely one of the one of the goals of a lot of these programs. It's cognitive dissonance. In this one light SUV with the trailer, I've been seeing a lot of those. They do the one light and the trailer. That should be some good evidence for non-TIs. It's